All right, guys, welcome back to Life Changing Wealth. You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay Biondo, here with a special breaking episode of Will Bitcoin Hold the Line? We're going to find out what's really cooking here in just a second. I'm just going to give it another minute to see if we can get some people to join. Welcome, welcome. We're just going to give it another minute or so, maybe 30 seconds for people to join, and then we're going to get right into what's going on with Bitcoin. Are you ready to dive into it? Comment in the chat. Let me know you're here. Michael's here. Nice. All right, cool, Mike. All right, so let's get started. So, Bitcoin is dumping like crazy right now. I can't say I'm surprised, really. So, we're going to just jump right into the charts. Let's head over to good old TradingView. Jump in here. This is not good. We're down to 52,800 right now. So the real question becomes, will Bitcoin hold the line? And more importantly, what line is that? Well, it's kind of a few lines. And so I'm going to zoom out here and let's jump to the weekly. Adjust the chart here. Okay. So this is a good depiction right now. We are right now experiencing just a little bit of a cross section between the 20-week EMA and the price action. So what we're hoping for is a nice bounce off of the 20-week EMA. Last time this happened on September 20th, we got a nice bounce upward, and then we went up for 3 weeks straight. Actually, almost 6 out of the 7 weeks following that were straight up. So we're looking for something similar. What we are not looking for is a weekly close, really like 2 weekly closes that break down past this 20-week EMA. That would not be good. And this is the line we want to hold. If if we end up shooting down to, somewhere in the, I guess, 48K range, that wouldn't be so good. The only thing you could argue is, I believe that's where like the 100-day moving average is right now, simple moving average, which we have found support at in the past. I don't want to go down to 48K. That would not be a good thing. So right now, 52.86. I actually love this, right? Because even though my portfolio is getting wrecked right now, what I do like about this, assuming we get the bounce, is that once this bounce happens, every altcoin is going to actually... So right now they're overselling. They're just overselling alts constantly, right? So If we, when we look at like let's take an example here. So we got ADA now dropping to 28.54. This has been on the decline now for for weeks. Looks like 10 weeks or so. Has been on the decline, and the more Bitcoin gets wrecked, the more people want to sell their altcoins. I'm not one of them, but that's what people are doing, right? So what happens is once this is done and Bitcoin turns back and swings back up to the upside, I've got most of my money in Bitcoin right now for this reason. Bitcoin will start to pop off, and then after Bitcoin pops off, that's when I move my money back into alts. And that's where I start to really make those kind of moves. So you actually get the benefit of both worlds because you get the upside of Bitcoin and then you get the upside of altcoins. So those are that's the way I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this, and I really look at every situation as, there's an opportunity here. As I'm going to do an episode soon on how bear markets are what make you rich. It's not actually a bull market. So we'll talk about that in another episode. But this is where we are, and we need to see the next week or two is going to be very critical. We also have some things going on in the world with the new variant, which is a catalyst for this drop, for this excessive drop. So, the stock market took a big hit today, along with the crypto markets. Crypto markets taking an even bigger hit. But if you're invested in the stock market and crypto, you probably got a little bit wrecked today. As far as the liquidations go on, people with their leverage positions, there was over $800 million of liquidations today. So when you look back in the past, that's not the highest amount of liquidations. In the past, I think like September 20th, we had 900 million. We had a couple days in the 700 millions or so in November. So it's not the highest, but it's up there. And we have to keep in mind that the max pain price for options was yesterday at the 57K range. So and one thing I pointed out in the live stream last night was that a lot of people have options at 50. They have puts at 50,000. So those people, whatever institutions are buying those options, clearly want the price to tank. And here we are. It's no surprise that on options expiration day, we're seeing the price tank and sort of coincide with what the options market is predicting. So, let's see here, Mike. My options and... I think you're saying your shorts are killing it? Oh, so are you using options as a hedge in the stock market? That would be very interesting. So Michael brings upon a good point, which is the way to get around some of this, I guess, variance or covariance is to actually place options as your insurance policy on what happens in the market. So what a lot of hedge funds do, let's see here. No, I mean, hey, sometimes it's good to place shorts, Mike. It's good to place shorts. And options, although I've never done any options trading, I'll say that. I know how they all work, though. Essentially it's your insurance policy so that if the price either goes up or down, depending on what kind of market you're looking for and what kind of options you're choosing to buy, you can use them as insurance to cover your bets if the price tanks. It's a nice way to do that, and it's something I probably should do. Call options shorts 3x inverse. Call options that are shorts at a 3x inverse. Is that the symbol SQQQ or something? 3x inverse? Yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to look into, because they're probably, I assume they're cheap to buy. Where are you buying these options? You know, Mike, are you I always wonder where people buy all these options for Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to look into this after the live stream, because I find that fascinating. And you know, okay, E-Trade, really? Is it on the market, or is it or are these Bitcoin options? You know, that's what I wonder, because yeah, it's something I probably should do, especially with what's going on with the whole pandemic situation, without using some form of hedge. I mean, when you for those that don't know, that's how Mark Cuban got rich. Was he took out an insurance policy against his company, and his options got executed at ridiculous multiples, and that's how he became a billionaire. So, so everything Michael is saying here is totally valid. What some people will do is they'll set up like options trades, and there's so many different strategies with options. You could set up these things called straddles, where you'll make money if the price goes down a lot. You'll make money if the price goes up a lot, but you won't make money if if the price doesn't move a lot. There's so many different strategies to options. It's kind of mind blowing. I think I'm gonna get a poster and put right up here the option strategies. It's definitely something I want. So let's see here. Mike says short for the Russell. Okay, shorting the Russell. SQQ short for the okay. Shorting the Nasdaq. Got it. Okay, at a 3x inverse. Okay, got it. Very interesting. Definitely something I'm gonna look into. When you say 3x inverse, I immediately assume it's like an index. It's like an index that does a 3x inverse and purchases the options or leverage to do so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or are you physically buying the options, and are you buying them at the expiration dates that you want, right? Because yeah, there's still some things I need to learn about options, since I haven't actually executed them. But definitely doing if it was an ETF on an inverse 3x, that is that's something that's very easy. Okay, nice. You have options. Okay. Michael's skilled here. Very skilled. Nice. Yeah, I always wonder how people, what strategies they use to pick their expirations on those. December 17th expiration. Okay, nice. Yeah, I got to start buying options. I mean, there's so much potential with options. The multiples are nuts. And you could just use them as insurance. So, yeah, and that's why you can't read too much into where people are placing their bets on options, because a lot of times, as analysts, right, as myself as an analyst, I'll look at this and say, oh, well, the max pain price for today is at 57,000, but who really cares? Because I guess the exchanges care, but you as an investor, you only care because you're worried if the exchanges are doing manipulation. But outside of that, assuming they weren't doing manipulation, which I think they are, so it doesn't fall into that category. But assuming they weren't, you only really care about your insurance policy at the end of the day, and if you're using it as an insurance policy and not as a trading strategy, that's like a big source of your of your expected profits, then you actually kind of hope it doesn't happen. And then if it does happen, you hope that you get really deep in the money in order in order to get those high multiples. Yeah. So this is one of the things I got to do the math on. Like maybe tomorrow or Sunday or maybe a couple days, I'm gonna dive into this and see where I could buy options, what strategy I would want to use, because it does seem like there's a lot of potential here. Okay, Mike says I just use them as insurance. Yep. Yeah. This puppy crashes, I'm good, and also buy outside them. Okay, yeah, of course you buy outside the money in some of them. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, down like 5 cents per contract. That makes sense. Yeah, yeah, and you just buy them way out of the money so that if they hit, you're covered. Yeah. No, that's something I should do. Definitely something I should do. Now, are you able to sell those for a profit as it gets closer to expiration? Like, let's say you had you'd bought a $50,000 put against Bitcoin right now, and let's say the price when you bought it was 60,000, and now it's down to 52,000. And if you were to sell that today at the expiration date of the 17th, would you be able to get a profit from that? Like, do you get a profit as you get closer to in the money? That's what I'm not quite sure of. Exactly. Right. Wow, that's crazy to think that $100 can cover you for 100,000 to 300K. Wow, Mike. Now you're getting my wheels spinning. I mean, I know you. Yeah. That is. Yeah. You are really getting me thinking. You know what you're really getting me thinking about? This is kind of like making me crazy here. And then people don't really think about this, right? So we all talk about the bull market. Oh, the bull market. It's going to keep going. We know it's going to end. It's going to crash eventually. Well, boy, if you had a crystal ball and you could buy some options right now, and let's say I predict the bull market's done in 6 months. You can buy some options 6 months out from now, probably for dirt cheap, and buy them, assuming Bitcoin is at, like 50K or something, right? Assuming we're going to go to 200K or somewhere like that. 50K would be a massive, massive correction. Boy, I wonder what those would go for right now. I wonder if those are at like a penny per contract. Maybe really worth picking up, because if you can foresee the expirations and the crash of the market, my gosh, the amount of money that's actually the ultimate strategy, right? We all talk this bullshit about riding the bull trend, but that right there is big money. That is the killer strategy. Really, further out the more expensive. Correct, Mike. Yeah, that makes sense actually, because you don't know where the price is going to go, so there's that actually does make sense. Okay. Yeah. And as you get closer, then of course, the price volatility would be less. Yeah, they definitely would be a leap. I mean, that's you're throwing stones, you're definitely throwing stones, and who knows if they would stick, but I do find it fascinating, because there's a lot of things you could do as far as taking like bar patterns and measured moves to try to figure out, how many more, like if we look on a log scale of Bitcoin, the logarithmic chart, and we go out to the we just keep it on the weekly, I think, and we zoom out over the cycle. Let me bring this down a bit. So we can see we're getting these diminishing returns and lengthening cycles. I have to measure what the distance between the cycles are. But the cycles are lengthening. They're getting longer. And if we can assume that mid-2022 would be the peak of the bull run, boy, I wonder what the math is on this stuff. Like, what's the rate of diminishing of the cycle lengthening, I should say. There's probably some math on this that can be done. We could assume that these peaks get sort of less and less over time, which roughly, if we were out at, let's see here, let's assume we go to August. So if the cycle peaks in August, it looks like we would end up somewhere around 200K. If that happens. Oh, I will take a look. Certainly. Yeah. I definitely will take a look. Yeah, this is let's see here. Let's SRTY. Let's just do it. Let's just do it live. Hold on. We'll do it live in a second here. All right. Let's see here if I have this up correctly. All right, we're on Yahoo Finance. Let's take a look at SRTY. ProShares Ultra Pro shorting the Russell 2000. Let's go over the past. Let's see here. March 2020, Mike says. Let's see. Well, see, looking at this. Oh, I see. It did. Wow. Okay. So you did have a nice spike there on March 1st. But I don't quite fully understand this, right? Because the price has been declining. Why does that not seem to make sense to me? Over a 5-year period, really over the whole length, this has just been on a declining. I mean, the whole thing's been declining. I don't follow this. Wouldn't we expect to see? Why would we? Well, I guess because the Russell 2000 over time continues to go up. So I guess. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's probably okay. Yeah. That seems like it would make sense. What's up, crypto? Thanks for joining the chat. So I assume that over time the Russell bleeds against the short position, and then we get a nice bump, essentially doubling in March of 2020. Wow, lots of money to be made in really like a month or two. Right. Mike, that makes sense. Yeah. No, now I get it. Right. It's a very temporary, insurance. Then let's see here. SQQQ. Ultra Pro short. Oh, of the NASDAQ. That's right. This is the NASDAQ. Let's just take a look over the past year. Let's go to 5 years. Let's see here. Right. Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, this is definitely not a long-term hold. This is expected to lose, but yeah, it would be a short-term insurance policy. Bet against the Nasdaq. Certainly one I wish I placed 2 days ago because the Nasdaq got annihilated today. Yeah. But even then, it looks like, had I jumped in on this, wouldn't be substantial. Wouldn't be a substantial gain. But yeah, the thing is that's nice about this is that this is the simple man's way to hedge his bets, right? The fancy man's way is to use some options. And it does, well, I mean, with options, you could lose whatever you throw in. It's kind of almost expected. And then with with your inverse shorts or just like your your typical short positions, yeah, there's risk, but it's a bit different. It's more just losing your principal. Mike says options. Options are the way to go. Yeah. I hear you, Mike. I hear you. Alrighty. Let's we'll head back over to the charts. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to mention for tonight. Oh, we're getting a nice little bounce back to 53. It looks like Bitcoin is holding the line. Will it continue to do so? I sure hope so. And I think it will. I think this is just another retest. And then we'll get a nice lift. I don't know that we're going to be off to the races yet, but I think we're going to get a nice lift. And I'm trying to find my next play. I've been scouring the internet for what investment is going to be the next one to jump in on, and I'm trying to be patient and hold certain positions. Any recommendations? Crypto wants to know, am I bullish or bearish short to medium term? Well, in the short term, I'm neutral because I want to see what happens over the next week or two as far as Bitcoin holding its 20-week EMA. So, we're going to see what happens. So I would say in the short term, I am just waiting. See this line here? We're going to wait to see if we get a bounce. And and this is on the weekly time frame. So we want to see 1 or 2 weeks from now to get some movement upwards, to get some nice green candles, some green hollow candles. And so that's my take on it. Right now I'm neutral with it. Long-term bullish for sure. Definitely long-term bullish. Short-term neutral. Medium-term, I don't know. I mean, depends on how you define medium-term. RMTX. Let's check out what this is. Let's jump over to the good old coin market cap. Try to steal some ideas from Mike in the chat. Love learning. That's what we're here for. RMTX. Oh, it's not listed on CMC. What is this? Rematic. Rematic crypto. Can't find this Rematic. Mike, are you pulling my leg? I'm not seeing this. Is it only on like Pancake Swap or something, or? I don't know where this Rematic is. RMTX, right? RMTX. No results on the CMC. I don't know. So how did you find it? Just going to jump to the good old Twitter and do a search for Rematic. Okay, Rematic EGC. EGC, that's like Evergrow. So let's see here. The first double dip token to provide Evergrow reflections and BUSD reflections. I'm trying to comprehend this. Okay, simply hold Rematic tokens and get rewarded 9% in Evergrow. And then obviously, yeah, your Evergrow gives you BUSD. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to like say, why not just go into Evergrow, right? Like, I mean, unless you're just in it because you expect the token value to rise. But let's just say I have $100. I could throw it into Evergrow and get 9% of BUSD, or I could throw $100 into Rematic, get a 9% of Evergrow, which then Evergrow will give me a 9%. So now I only get a 1% return of BUSD. You know? So that's... I mean, I guess the math only makes sense to me is if you're expecting Rematic price to rise significantly. Because then it might make sense. But otherwise, I'm not following. I mean, I follow it, but it doesn't make sense to me. Whoa, the PooCoin chart. Let's see here. What is going on here? Yeah, this is just a monster green candle. Wild. Well, yeah, I don't know. So I have $100. I buy Rematic. Assuming the price was stable, I then earn 9% of the volume. I earn Evergrow token. Then Evergrow pays me, I think, somewhere around 9% of BUSD. Well, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. I can't get it. Let's see here. Oh, I see the chart. I see the chart. I mean, that's where I think the money is to be made, is the growth. You know, the growth on the long-term hold of it. So, cool. Like looking at new projects regardless. Let's check out the team. We got some hidden team members. I hate it when people do this. They don't tell you who the team is. Nevada does this, and this is obnoxious. You shouldn't be afraid to throw the team out there. Mike, you're a special one here, you know? But that's what I like to hear. Get in on the pre-sales. I'm still waiting on the Niobe launch, December 21st. We shall see what happens with them. Well, guys, unless there are any other, we'll do just a quick Q&A, like 5-minute Q&A if you guys have any other questions or things. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a night. And maybe play with my dog a little bit, you know, before he goes to bed, before I go to bed. Any questions, thoughts? All right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Not sure what I'm going to cover next. You know, maybe we'll do some option stuff. I do have some videos coming in the works for tomorrow. Just hang on. There's a good one coming out. If you didn't see that, if you missed the video today on CBDCs, that's the one to watch. As I basically tear through the implementation of CBDCs. As do I, Mike. You know, I will certainly catch you in the next one. Happy to be here with you. Thank you for joining. You make it a lot more enjoyable. So, you know, over time, we're going to build this community. That's the goal here. So thanks, Mike. Thanks for being with me, and have a good night. I'll catch you guys in the next video.